I assume
It's
we're live.
all together.
Yeah, we're
Hello,
good.
everyone. Welcome to Swindler's Den. We are back with Icewind Dale, Rime, the Frostmaiden. This is session 7 for those of you keeping track. Welcome to the stream. You'll see we are missing a person currently. They hopefully will be here for the second half. We shall see how the story goes. But we will get into why they aren't here in the recap. But first, let's introduce our players. Off the top, we have Grizlocke.
Hello, I'm Grizlocke. I play Orlin. You can find me at all things Grizlocke. My webcam's not matching up with my voice because everything has to be bad today.
We're doing good. Next on the list is Bumbleskum.
Hey, it's your boy Bumbleskum. I'm playing Heinlein Swornsword. He's a really cool dude who has a lot of convictions.
Next up, TommieTaco.
Hey, it's TommieTaco here. I play Zavros Wyrm, the half-elf ranger. You can find me here on Twitch and here as well on Swindler's Den on Wednesdays and Sundays.
I thought you were going to do a vlog review the whole time with your arm next to your camera.
No, I was moving my camera back and I was like, oh shit, I'm next.
And last but not least, we have Dr. Phage.
Hello, I'm playing Axel, the Goliath fighter, and I'm real conflicted this time because of things that will be talked about in the recap.
Yes. So, just quick announcements. So be sure to check out our other shows here on the channel. On Mondays, we have Amoris at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're getting into the thick of it, as the kids say on the TikToks these days. And on Sundays, this Sunday is a holiday, so we won't be streaming. But the following Sunday, the return of Lost Song of Fandover, our follow-up to the Lost Mine of Fandover, will also be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's getting crazy over there, so be sure to join us for that. Otherwise, happy anniversary to Swindler's Den coming up here. It's the start of the... Is it the Twitch channel started this month, or...
I think it's actually our YouTube?
Our YouTubes, maybe? Whichever way it coins out. Happy anniversary to everybody here. And let's get into the summary. So last time on the Icewind Dale, Rime the Frostmaiden, we joined our group as they had been cornered in the Elven Tomb by the White Moose. Zavros and Mila were immediately in harm's way, so Zavros tried to talk to this moose, but seeing that all intentions were violent from the moose, jumped in front of Mila to protect her from the oncoming charge. Zavros took the blunt end of these antlers and got knocked down immediately to start off the fight. Quickly, the rest of the group joined, and they were able to take out the moose. The moose didn't really put up much of a fight after taking out Zavros. Apparently, that was enough for it. But after that, a snowy owl that had been perched on one of the torch sconces on the wall swooped down. What was that?
That was just my everything exploding again. My Twitch on my phone playing back through the stream, the microphone. You're good.
Did the stream die, or did it just give you an audio boost? Okay, cool. The snowy owl swooped down, tried to get some talon rakes in, but came up short, and revealed themselves to be a frost druid who had awakened this moose, and previously the plesiosaurus that our group had encountered in Bremen. They then went on to fight this frost druid, who took down quite a few of our party. Zavros, having been stabilized, was once again knocked unstable, and Mila went down, as well as a ice storm ravaged the inside of the tomb. The rest of the party followed the frost druid as they tried to escape, while Heinlein stayed inside to try and take care of the two that were down. He was able to bring Zavros back, expending much of his energy as he did, where he passed out from there, releasing some kind of orcish spirit on his way down, who was able to finish off Ravison, the frost druid, as she tried to escape. Axel then returned to the unconscious body of Mila, only to find it starting to shift its form and turn as some kind of mind flayer twisted version of a doppelganger appeared in front of him. Axel was able to cover up Mila's body before anybody else could see, and once everybody else joined and came back to consciousness, they began a funeral pyre for Mila, and moved on from there, where they continued to explore the Elven Tomb. Now that they had a hand from the Frost Druid Ravison, they began the ritual to open the sarcophagus of a moon elf who was now mummified and reanimated after the ritual happened. They talked to this moon elf Shannara for a little bit, tried to disguise her, not very well, and as they walked away, that is where we returned to the party. So you guys are making your way back towards Lonelywood to return this moose head. You did get a little bit of supplies from the moose as well, some rations, pelt, and Orlin got some of its organs. Let me do this, and you guys, if you want to do anything on the way back. Otherwise, the way back won't be as hard of a trek. I will say, as you guys are leaving this Elven Tomb, if any of you turn back to give one last look, and you try to peer through the trees, it almost looks as though it just is trees once more. You aren't quite able to make out where you just were.
Interesting.
Well, that's odd.
So, back to town.
I guess it's time to deliver this head.
Yeah, it's getting... It's not super late in the evening, but it's like mid-afternoon is what I meant to say, not late afternoon, but mid-afternoon, as you make your way back to Lonelywood. I assume Axel has the head of the moose, since it's going to be incredibly heavy with the antlers still attached to it. Just blood pooling behind you as you walk back to town. And you make it back towards Nimsy Huddle's house, which, for those of you that don't remember, is this one right down here. And you see outside of the house as you approach is Mila's sled still sitting outside.
Oh, that's right, her dog.
I did not go into town.
You did not go into town, that's right. You were going to stay outside of town with Shannara. I will say, as you guys are approaching town, the wind begins to pick up as well.
I think perhaps, if you'd like, I can stay here with Shannara. And I only mention that because I believe this was specifically your quest, and you were the one hired to take out
true.
this beast.
Would you like to do it in shifts? I can go turn this in and come back, and you can go in.
That's totally fine by me. I imagine it just makes more sense for you to see through the end of your quest.
Oh, well, much appreciated. And I guess I'm gonna try and get the moose head off of him. He's like, oh, Axel has it. Axel has it.
Axel has it. Yep. Because
I thought Heinlein took it because he's
moose antlers are incredibly heavy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can start walking into town. But yeah, the wind is starting to pick up out here in Lonelywood as well. It's starting to blow snow off of the trees and pick up snow off the ground. And you make your way to Nimsy Huddle's house, the four of you.
Just knock.
Knock on the door. Door slowly creeps open. Yes, it's you. Did you do it this time, or are you just resting again?
Well, I hope you have more ginger snap cookies because the beast is dead.
Oh yeah, of course. We always have come in. It's starting to get windy out there. We don't want to let all the heat out. And she'll usher all of you inside very quickly. So, well, I could see the antlers. Let me see the whole thing. But put it right here. She has like kind of a, she pulls like kind of a blanket out and puts it on the ground, to where you can set down this moose head.
I thought you wanted the blood to soak the floor.
Well, I was getting a little over the top, maybe. The anger was getting to me, I think. So,
Heat
what-
of the moment.
yeah, heat of the moment, exactly.
Ah, okay. Well, this appears to be it. Yeah,
Right.
it was very dangerous.
Yeah,
I look all beat to shit.
yeah, you all don't look too great. There were more of you last time, was there not? Are they on their way, or?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, hopefully they're not too long. That weather doesn't look like it's going to get any better out there. Well, let me look at this thing. She like goes over to the moose and is like feeling around on its nose, and we'll have this thing mounted, and we can put it up. I'll put it up right. Well, we should put it up in the tavern, I think, for all to see, so we all know we're safe again. We'll have to get some of this blood stain out, but it'll make a fine trophy for sure. Teach some, maybe keep away some spirits. They know we're nothing to mess with up here in Lonelywood. Oh, but Ginger Snap, you want it? She starts rushing off to the kitchen to tray up some, or plate up some cookies for all of you. Well, how much longer do we expect your group to be? And are you staying tonight? It's starting to get late, but I know if you're busy adventurers off to do more.
How many more days do we have left until the next harvest?
On the 4th day is when the new moon happens.
So we have 4 more days, is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. We're planning on heading out soon.
Not to interrupt you, but I will specify because it's weird with days, because I kind of count those at the beginning of days. This is towards the end of the day, so in a couple of hours it'll be 3 days, and on that day is the full moon. Or new moon. I didn't want to.
2 days travel, we said, right?
Roughly. So it takes.
Bryn
You would know. If this is on foot. You would know it's like 2 hours to Tourmaline. Tourmaline down to Targos is 4. And then Targos to Bryn is like 2 as well. So that's on foot. Yeah. Is about 8 hours, and about half that to get there on your mounts.
Perhaps we could spend the night. We have some time.
Right. Yeah, there's plenty of space upstairs. Oh, and your dog here has been waiting for all of you. You see DOG, it's just laying down by the fire, having not seen Mila come in, hasn't gotten up yet.
I think I'm over by DOG, just like sitting next to him, patting him, being like, "It's okay, buddy. We shall take good care of you."
I hate to, interrupt the excitement of this beast finally being slain, but, when could we expect, payment?
Well, yeah, of course. Where's my thought? She goes, rushing over to a desk that she has over in the corner and like rifles through it for a second, and pulls out a small sack that appears to be made out of some sort of skin, and brings over to you as, here it is, like we agreed upon, 100 gold pieces for the slay of this beast. And she puts the pouch in your hand.
I just hand it to Orlin.
All right.
Oh, by the way, do you have any glasses? Mugs?
Oh yeah, mugs. Of course, yes, of course we do. How many do you need? 4 more for your friends that are coming?
I would say get some extra ones. I actually have some place to be shortly in a bit, but I'm sure they'll arrive and they can partake.
You're gonna go out in this weather?
Oh, I just have a few things I have to take care of.
All right. I mean, you know best, I guess. You're the one that killed the moose. She'll pull out 6 mugs. Put them on the counter. What do you want me to put anything in them, or are you just gonna look at them?
Oh no! I reach into my bag and I pull out the gallon of honey meat I bought, and I start pouring everyone a glass, and I'm like, "So, Orlin, I heard this was your favorite."
Yes. Thank you.
And
Totally
I kind of
lying.
hold it up. And it's like, to be slain and friends.
Sip on your honey mead with the crackling of the fire in the hearth. Axel petting Dog. Yeah.
I do like to imagine that these are like halfling-sized mugs. So it's just like this
Yeah.
teeny mug in this huge hand.
Oh, this definitely makes it stretch out a bit, doesn't it? You know, if we keep drinking these glasses, it should last a while if we just limit to 2 glasses.
Yeah, when you all have just honey meat shots.
Yeah. After I get on a joint, it's like, well, I'll be back later. A few things I have to take care of, but I kind of nod to Orlin and I kind of bow to the town master.
Well, thank you. Be safe out there. As you go to open the door, you open it just a crack, and the wind instantly just takes it and pushes it inwards, and you can see just snow and wind blocking all of your vision directly outside. Do you continue out into the blizzard?
I stop and I look at it. It's like, well, this is going to be interesting. And I travel forth.
You go outside, you said?
Yep.
All right. So Zavros struggles to get the door closed behind him, pulls it shut. Nimsy Hose, well, that's a strange choice, but I guess as long as the moose is dead, his funeral. We will cut over to Heinlein and Sonar, the elven mummy. So Heinlein, as you've been standing out here, the wind has been picking up steadily, and the snow has been coming down more and more. And now you are in the middle of a full-on blizzard. You can see Sonar's kind of moving with the wind slightly, like her body sways as the wind gusts come through. How are you taking this?
This isn't seeming pretty good. I'm thinking, I know Zavros was going to come meet us again, but we should probably get out of this at least to some degree. How does she look? Do I know that she looks badly disguised?
Yeah, you would know. Like she wasn't. What you had left wasn't quite big enough for her, so it's like pieces, but you could still see like the wrappings of being a mummy, and like one arm is down a little bit lower, and her whole face is like wrapped up except for her eye and her mouth, so you could fully tell she's a mummy.
Okay. Can I make a survival check to find out if being at least within the wooded area is better for us?
Yeah, go ahead and roll one.
That's a 6, which makes sense.
You would have to go pretty deep in the wood because a lot of this has been logged out around this area.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd have to go pretty deep in to get any kind of shelter from this blizzard.
Shnar, how's visibility for you?
I cannot see very well. I could before this, but the wind and snow was blocking the majority of my vision.
For me, this all looks pretty normal. Not real good with the sights. I was thinking maybe we should head into the woods some, but I think it probably makes more sense for us to stay put. The Zavros would be able to find us a little bit easier than I think we'd be able to find our way to the speaker's house.
Yes, we have to find some kind of place to block wind. I won't be able to hold up much longer.
Does my am I able to block any of the wind with my axe beak?
Yeah, you can bring Velt to the wind side, and naturally the axe beaks kind of puff up when they're in the wind, so that they block majority of the wind. So yeah, he can block some of the wind from hitting you guys.
Okay.
Right,
I'm going
rock
to
dragon.
step off of Velt also, holding onto the reins. Just that way, if need be, I can try and catch her if something happens.
Alright.
But that way she also, like, there's a little bit more something there blocking. I mean, it's not a lot more, but it's just something better.
Alright, cool. Yeah,
Um,
you kind of duck down behind your axe beak for allow them to take the brunt of the wind coming in.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you remember much from your time being dead?
From being dead? No, I remember from before, but not.
So for you, was it you died and then next thing you know, you woke up here?
Yes.
All right.
Why do you have questions about death or fear it?
No, I was just curious about what your time in the afterlife was like.
It seemed like almost a moment in between my death and me being here.
I mean, to be fair, I don't really know much of the differences between, your time, your kind and death and mine. So, for instance, I guess I don't even know if you know if you were even in the afterlife or not, or if it was just more like akin to being asleep because of this curse.
I'm not sure how that worked with the in between the curse, if it kept my soul here or if it just took it back once you all freed me, and I don't remember any of that time. That's unknown to me.
Yeah, I think after that, I probably wouldn't make a lot more small talk or anything like that.
Yep, that's fair.
I just sit there and try and help her out, so she's not like. Well, actually, I can stand on the opposite side of her, so she's like between me and the axe beak.
Okay.
So it's
Very
easier
good.
for her to stay put, and then we'll wait until we can or can't wait any longer.
I'll need a Constitution saving throw from you, and Zavros, I need a survival check from you.
Nat 1, baby. Starting this game off right.
Oh no.
So,
No, it's all right.
Really?
I'm sure he'll be here anytime now. He navigates these lands a lot.
so, Highland, you're able to kind of dig down deep and find what your inner warmth and the help of your axe beak blocking the majority of the wind. You're able to hold out here in the wind. As Zavros, you can't quite remember the streets and where you left them exactly, so it takes you quite a while, longer than it should have, but you do find them eventually. So I need a Constitution save from you as well, actually, as you are trying to find them out in this blizzard.
Well,
I actually didn't find the page when I was looking for it, so I should have kept looking. Forgot I was going to ask you as well. Hold on. I think you passed, but let me double check. Yeah, you are able to kind of resolve yourself as well. You're also moving around with your winter clothes on, so it's a little bit easier for you to keep that heat going. But eventually, you do see like a group of figures crouched over in the tree line, trying to take shelter.
hello. As I'm like making my way through the blizzard.
And did you bring your axe beak with you?
No, I kept my axe beak.
Okay.
Kept tied up at the speaker's house.
I imagine with the howling winds, I'm not really hearing much. I don't know.
Do a
As
perception
like, is it-
check
walking up
with
to it.
disadvantage.
10.
You hear a noise, but you aren't sure what it is.
Hello? Who's out there?
I just keep walking and walk up on him.
And it's almost when Zavros is right on top of you, you're able to make out his figure.
My immediate reaction is to put my hand on my sword until I recognize who he is, and I let go. All right, wow. See, I told you he'd be here, no problem. Knows his way around this stuff.
Do you like
It's
honey
cold out
meat?
here? I don't think I've ever had any, so.
Well, there's
I don't know.
definitely some left at the speaker's house for you.
All right.
I bought some in the last town, and since the beast is dead, I saved it for that.
I know you said you wanted to do shifts with her out here, but and I'm like looking around at the blizzard. I'm not too sure how safe that is.
Well, I'm hoping that we can probably sneak her into a building. I hear that the inn is abandoned. Maybe we could keep her there, away from everyone.
That sounds like an interesting idea. Yeah, I think so. I think that might work. Here, I'm gonna help her up onto my axe beak, so that she can hold on to the reins, and it's a little bit easier on her. And I can just hold on to the side of the axe beak. All right, let's lead the way.
All right, and we'll start heading back.
Make another survival check for
I
me.
had my hand on the survival button because I knew you were going to ask. 16.
16, yeah. It's a little bit easier making your way back into town than it was trying to figure out where you were going to find where they were hunkered down. But you make your way down towards the southern end of town where southern end of town where the ramshackle is. And as you come up to it, the wind sweeping off the lake to your west, you can see that the front has been, it's not boarded up, but all the inside is dark, and you don't see any movement on the inside.
I'll try and open up the doors.
The door is locked.
It's locked.
Front door is, at least. You don't know if there is a back door or if the back door is locked or not.
But I wish I had my tools on me.
Well, I think this is kind of a state of emergency. No one really uses this place, right?
Barge in, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'll try and break it down.
I'll assist.
Give me athletics with advantage.
Okay. 14.
14. You go to. How are you trying to break it down?
I'm just trying to barge into it with my shoulder.
Yeah, you kind of ram it with your shoulder, and the first one doesn't really work. But you go at it again, and you can hear the spot where the lock catches into the frame starts to splinter a little bit, and it takes you a few shoves, but you are able to break this door through with the lock, breaking the frame where the lock holds in, and it as soon as it catches the wind and you are able to get the lock broken off, it just swings open instantly with this blizzard pushing it through, and the wind and snow start to fill the inside of the ramshackle.
Now, here's the important question. Is it just one door? Is it a double door? How big is the door? Right.
So it is it's a double door with a pillar in the middle of the two, so you would have pushed one of them open.
How easy would it be to get an axe beak inside?
You would it wouldn't be that hard. Axe beaks aren't huge. He'd have to duck, but I mean that's easy
I
enough.
just didn't know if you'd be able to squeeze in through it or
yeah,
not.
they look very large because they have so much down feathers and things, but the actual body of the axe beak isn't incredibly wide.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm gonna, now that I've got inside, I'm gonna try and lead the axe beak inside too. Actually, I'm gonna help her get off first, and then lead both of them in.
Yeah, you bring Shinar and your axe beak inside, and Zavros comes in as well.
He's rubbing his shoulder because it hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, as Zavros try to help you pushing it down. The wind and snow is still coming in, and you can see a dark, dusty room around you.
I'm going to start trying to shut the door to keep the snow and wind from coming in.
Yeah, it takes you a second, and you push it, but because the actual part where the lock catches is broken, you would have to put something up against it or stand there and hold it yourself.
I'm going to take my short swords and stab them into the planks and try to angle them towards the door to keep the door in place.
Yeah, give me an attack roll with your swords.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
23.
More than enough. You just stab them in, and it's able.
First
to
time I use
door.
them is to keep a door shut.
There you go.
That should hold it.
Oh,
It's dark in here.
well, to be fair, it's dark everywhere.
That is true.
This looks almost no different to me than being out there.
Yeah, looking around this darker Heinlein, you can make out some shapes, barely.
Can you see any candles or anything in here?
But yeah, Zavros looking around, you would see there is like a hearth with
specifically.
there's like a
hearth. Give off a lot of light.
A hearth with like furniture around it, because it's kind of the common area of this inn.
Mm-hmm.
You see that there's a desk over in the corner with shelves behind it where you would be able to see some candles. There is also in the middle of the floor a crimson stain, not crimson, it would be a little more blackened at this point, but a large stain on the ground. As well as over in the corner you would see a rope that is tied to something but isn't up anymore. It's like on the ground.
Well, I found some candles. We can use it to see around the place, but we will eventually need to get warmth. And I watch out for the spot where the man seemed to have killed himself.
I'm not too sure where that is, so...
you'll see. Trust me. I go grab the candle, and I'll go ahead and, try to light the candle, and I'll hand it to Heinlein.
I've got a tinderbox if necessary, so I can always light stuff.
You guys can light up... do you light up two, or just the one?
I'll just
light up one, because
right,
I can see in the dark.
As the room kind of... It gets lightly illuminated by this candle within a small area around you, and then you also see that there is a path that kind of leads to a door, right to the left of the desk, as well as a set of stairs that go up, carpeted stairs, with like a banister that goes upstairs, obviously, with a set of stairs, and just dust absolutely covering everything, as well as the snow that has just been brought in by you guys opening the door.
Well, I see it now. Yeah. I suppose, we should definitely not walk into that. I guess my curiosity is going to get to me. I'm going to start looking for some kind of way to see if they've got some kind of chimney or something that we can light.
Yep, there's a hearth with furniture around it over on the left side of the room. Yep. Yeah, you can.
Then I'll go light that.
Okay. Yep. You light that up, and it starts to illuminate more of the room, and give it more of a cozy feel. You can still hear the wind, ravaging outside.
You know, for a creepy abandoned place where someone killed themselves, this is kind of heartwarming by the fire.
Well, if you think about it, people have probably been dying in all sorts of places for the entire existence of life. So really, there's not a whole lot of places I think you can go where people haven't died.
True.
Any plans while you were in here?
Well, I can tell you, I'm probably not heading back to the speaker's house because that blizzard out there.
Can I say I took the gallon with me after I filled up all the jugs?
Yeah.
Or the mugs. I'm just gonna pour my water skin out, and I'm just gonna fill it the rest of the way with what's left, and I'm just gonna like sip it and then pass it over to Heinlein.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you two
That's not
sip,
too bad.
You two
Exactly.
sip on honey mead.
That's an interesting flavor.
You two sip on honey mead. Are you just staying in the common room the rest of the night, or do you plan on going upstairs or in that back room at all, or up to you completely? I just want to check in before we move anywhere else.
I don't think I'd be that curious about it for now.
Yeah,
So
there are,
I know, like,
couches
it's
and stuff,
suspicious or whatever that he's like killed himself here or something. But overall, I think I'm more concerned with. I'm still at 5 HP, so like I'm more concerned with how wounded I am and how much I need
we're all
rest.
pretty banged up.
Pretty fair.
So I think I'd probably like fall asleep on the couch or something. Maybe actually, you know what? I would probably go get. I wouldn't want to be like too invasive of the area. I'd probably go get like maybe like some blankets or something from upstairs.
Yeah,
Probably go into one of the
older
rooms and grab some blankets.
Yeah, all the rooms are unlocked. There are beds in the rooms, but you can grab blankets and bring them downstairs if you like to stay by the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys can do that and spend the rest of the night slipping on honey mead and talking with Shannara if you'd like to. Otherwise, we're going to hop back over to the house where Orlin and Axel are waiting for Heinlein, they assume, to return, but don't see any sign of Heinlein or Zavros.
Starting to get nervous.
Are there, like, can we see outside? Like, are there windows that are, like, you can peek out without opening up the door?
Just trying to think if she'd have them boarded up or not. I'm gonna roll because a lot of people have their windows boarded up because of just to keep the cold out. And it seems like no, because she does have a nicer house, she is able to keep her windows unboarded and still have them sealed enough to not let the majority of the cold in.
Okay. Well, then I'll, like, probably be continuing to, like, peek outside and seeing that the blizzard isn't letting up. Well, we are not likely to find them. If we could locate where they are staying, they may not be there anymore, or we could just miss them, and then we have 4 people lost in the blizzard instead of 2.
Yes, you're right. Probably not worth wandering around the cold for them.
I mean, it is not a good situation, but also Zavros is pretty handy in the forest. If nothing else, if he found Heinlein, they should be able to make a shelter of sorts to survive, to last the night.
You know, I'd normally agree with you, but recently Zavros, I've been beginning to question whether he's truly a hunter.
What makes you say that? What makes you feel that?
Well, there was the bear trap incident, and there was other things I cannot remember.
It is all right. It is just a feeling you have.
I'm just joking.
Okay.
Best I could do is, if we did need to go look for them, I could detect magic and sense around, but I don't know if they're carrying anything magical. Perhaps the mummy.
Perhaps, but that is also...
Are you guys talking loud?
Oh, I thought we were like in a separate room. I didn't.
Oh yeah,
realize
you
we
can
were,
be like in the attic or so, or the loft upstairs.
I thought we were
if you
like
want.
wherever we were gonna sleep here.
Yeah, you can be in the loft.
I mean, it's a possibility, but again, I don't know if it'll do any of us any good to go out in the blizzard anymore tonight. It is not good, but also the situation will not be made better by us wandering blindly.
Correct. So,
How hurt is Orlin?
I don't think I got hit that fight. If I did,
Okay.
When I leveled up, I forgot.
No,
I
it's
think
fine.
you got hit. Yeah, I don't think. No, you did. You got hit by
Oh,
the.
I was down to like 3, wasn't I? I was like down to
Something
2
like
or
that.
3.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Because
put
your
that in
temp
there.
HP was keeping you up.
Yep, you're right. I was down to like 3.
So I also just like motion to how Orlin is looking and feeling, be like, also, we need a good rest tonight. We had a very hard day, and we are in no to be, well, you are in no shape to be wandering a blizzard.
Absolutely. Oh. We have to bring DOG back to East Haven at some point. As well.
Yes, I figured when we make our way over there for Heinlein's mission, I mean, I believe Brinchander is where he is going, but then East Haven is not that far afterwards.
Right. I have to head home anyways. How are you handling all this? I know you were the closest to
I'm gonna just roll something because I feel like it.
Go for it.
Oh, okay.
Good time.
Axel, again, just very conflicted on his face, and then leans in and starts speaking even quieter than we already probably were, and just says, so you are a magical person, and you deal with all sorts of fun bits from creatures and things like that.
Yes.
Then I came back to the cave. Heinlein was passed out on the ground. He had somehow woken up Zavros. I do not know how. When I went to check on Mila, she was already dead. But as I was checking her life, she changed. Her skin
Just lost him.
Oh shoot.
Oh.
Wait,
Now
he
we'll
said,
never know the secret.
Oh, no, he's back. He's back.
back.
Oh, he's back.
Hello?
Okay. Okay.
You're
Hello?
right. You're right.
Sorry.
Her skin began to change.
Oh, her skin, it turned gray and kind of rubbery. And then she had, like, tentacles coming from around her face. And she had, like, amber eyes. And she got bigger.
I'm gonna. Can I roll an Arcana?
You go for it.
21.
21. You haven't heard of anything specifically like this. You've heard of things like doppelgangers and changelings that can change their appearance in that they aren't able to hold that once they're dead. But the tentacles are what throw you off.
So perhaps she wasn't all she claimed to be.
Yes, I know she had an experience down in the mines, which now we know where the brain creature came from. But what has me worried is I don't know how long she was like that. I don't know if the Mila I knew was always the great creature, or if there was a time when Mila was Mila and then the great creature took over for her.
Like someone taking her identity.
Yes. And that is what does not sit well with me. Just not knowing, is my friend Mila still out there? Was she taken? Was she killed? Did this thing take her place? Or just merely her face?
Right. I don't know if we'll ever know. But, did you ever feel differently? Was there ever a time you noticed a change? Or was it just after the cave?
I don't think so. Dyto and I never really talked about when we actually started hanging out and when things happened.
Well, actually, you don't have to roll for this. You knew Mila. As far as you know, there was no change. But Orlin, with that roll that you had, you know that doppelgangers also, typically doppelgangers will, when they're trying to assume somebody's life, will capture them and minds as much as possible to learn as much of their idealisms and things to fully assimilate into whatever community they're trying to become a part of. So it could just be a very good job on this doppelganger trying to take over somebody's life, or it could have just been Axel's known that version of Mila the whole time. You aren't quite sure.
How long was Mila able to read minds for? Was that something she'd always do? Or was that a newer thing?
I believe just the vibe that I got is Mila's always been able to do that as I've known her. Because we haven't known each other for a long time, but we've known each other for like 2 or 3 years, I think, is what we said.
I don't know if this is going to make things better or worse, but I believe the Mila who's passed was your Mila. She was just perhaps hiding or afraid to show us who she truly was.
Yes, I do not know if that is... I do not know if that makes me feel better. It is good to know, but I do not know if there's comfort to it.
Right. I guess... I have not the right words.
I don't know if I have the words either. I mean, Mila was very fun. She was a good traveling companion. We had lots of great conversations. But now, perhaps it is best that... Perhaps I just remember that part. The great part is burned and gone. Perhaps that is for the best.
Well, I hate to do this, but I could really use some rest.
No, you sleep. I was going to be up for a while longer anyways. You go to sleep. I will see you in the morning.
Glenn rolls over in his bedroll. Did you want to do something else, Axel, before sleep, or just hanging out?
Yes, mostly just like little RP-ish stuff. But I'm gonna go down next to the fireplace, assuming it's still like embers or at least something going in there. But then I'm going to spend the rest of the night. I'm going to take out my jeweler's kit and slowly over the course of the night take the gem, Mila's gem. I don't know how big it is, but make it smaller and also purposefully make it less valuable. Like if it did have any cut sides on it, like just make it smaller very roughly. And then that gem along with then like a gray piece of shale and then like a red piece of quartz. Spend the rest of the night very carefully carving ruins on them, and then with wire and such affixing them to the moose vertebrae and forming like a necklace out of wire and such.
Yeah, I won't even make you roll for it because you have plenty of time. It's not like you're trying to do this quickly or anything like you would with like locksmith picks or anything. So yeah, you take the night to fashion this rune-covered necklace, and as we see Axel working by the fireplace with the OG laying next to him, Orlin asleep in the loft, and Heinlein and Zavros with Shinar in the abandoned inn, laying next to a hearth on some furniture, we go off to sleep and wake up in the morning. You can see your full health again. You're all level 3. And the blizzard has started to lift. It's still dark out, obviously, but it is good to remind viewers and everybody here it's dark all the time. So Zavros would be able to see for sure. I mean, Highland, you could pick it out too with the front windows to this lobby that the wind and the snow are starting to let up.
I can probably hear it too.
Yep, too. Yep.
I probably slept in my armor, so I'm probably like not good. But it's probably just made more sense for me, given this position we're in, just in case. But you see, Shinar probably didn't sleep, right? She's the mummy.
She would have went into like a trance-esque state, but she didn't need to. So,
Okay.
It was mostly that she wasn't doing anything, so she just kind of stayed still. But...
Okay. All right. This morning, I think.
It has been 8 hours, yes. Early
Alright,
morning, from
confirms it.
what I can tell, maybe.
Oh, that was a pleasant evening.
It was good. It was nice to actually sit down for once.
At this point, the hearth has like died down, so it's mostly just embers at this point. And I assume you extinguished your candle when you went to sleep. So not much light given off, just enough to see like directly in front of the hearth is essentially all you can see. Heinlein, that is, Avarice could see everything in black and white.
It is Zavros. I was thinking about this. What, So you came here to kill a beast, and it ended up being a moose.
Yes, they would appear so.
Is that kind of disappointing for you, or?
The most disappointing thing is I wasn't able to ascertain as to why it was doing what it was doing.
Well, I assume it was just trying to follow orders of its master.
True, it did say that it was obeying a master, which I assume was the woman that, speaking of
Yes.
which, you passed out and a weird spirit apparently showed up.
That's strange.
It had a large gash in its chest. What did you say? I didn't pick that.
Oh, what happened with it?
It killed the woman and then just vanished.
Oh. I'd assumed that Axel or Orlin killed her. That's strange.
No, I was there when it happened. It was a very weird thing. Oh wait, hold up. Did Orlin kill it, or was it the? Am I remembering
From
correctly?
what you
No,
saw,
you're-
it was the spirit.
It was the
Okay.
spirit. Yeah. Oh, that's strange. Maybe there's just. Because I know we got I know Shannara came from that area. Maybe there's just another spirit from before or something.
It definitely didn't look like an elf.
Oh. I mean, I suppose, to be fair, we probably weren't expecting an elf burial ground there either, so.
Can I do an inside check on him to see if maybe he's hiding something?
Yeah.
It's gonna be terrible, so. 17.
What does he get from a 17?
I have no idea what this ghost is.
Okay. It was very weird. I was actually hoping to ask her why the hell she was doing what she was doing, but I guess I could probably ask people around town to see if they knew about some lady out in the forest, possibly.
This place is a lot more bizarre than I would have guessed coming up here.
Oh, you tell me. I came up here just to do some hunting, and next thing I know, I'm stuck here.
Yeah. Is it your goal to go back? You said you're from some kind of. You said you're from some other place, like
Yes, Evermeet. Evermeet. Possibly. Life's an adventure, so wherever it takes me.
You say you're from Evermeet.
Yes.
Strange. Have they started repopulating?
We'll get back to that. That is turned to Heinlein. It's like, but no, it's kind of hard to tell multiple stories when you just stay in one place, so.
I suppose. So what? So he's still like a little like, what about the repopulation thing? But so what's driving you?
Well,
I know you're trying to
life in
hunt
general, I
beasts and
guess.
stuff, but like, what about it all is what are you doing? What you do?
He kind of looks down a little bit. And is there any more mead in the water skin?
Roll a D100 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little bit
55.
left still.
I kind of pop it and I just take a sip of it. And I kind of sigh a little bit, and then I hand him the water skin to see if maybe he'll take a sip from it.
Yeah, I'll drink some.
Well, from one foreigner to another. I became a monster hunter because it reminds me of my sister.
She hunt monsters too?
Sort of, yes. She helped protect the village I came from.
I see.
This was actually hers, and I pull out my little necklace trinket.
Well, I'm sorry. It sounds as though something might have happened, so my condolences.
It was a
Well, that's
long
a good
time
reason.
ago.
It's a good reason to be fighting out here.
And I just kind of look fondly at the necklace. But at the same time, I figured it was something that I kind of learned in my village after she had passed. And when I found myself here, I decided why not continue it? I could learn some other things and see where the road takes me.
See.
And what about you? You are fairly quiet most of the time. You don't have to tell me much, but I doubt you're only up here to gather ears.
No, nothing like that. It's kind of a long story, so. And I'll point to like a symbol on my shield. It's like a, and I think I've shown you guys I might have shown you guys the picture before. But it's like a hawk with a rose in the middle of it. This emblem is that of my lord, Lord Baldric Fellhawk. Let's just say where I'm from, things did not go so well. And we came here to, start something new. But because things went worse than we expected, there's not... He's struggling to say the words right now.
If you don't want to
he
talk
hasn't
about
wanted
it,
to
you
think about
really
it for a
don't.
while, but sorry, it's a lot right now. Still, it's only
As I said before, everyone tells their story in their own time.
Wow. Yeah. But and he slaps the shield on the symbol. I guess long story short, this is what I'm fighting for. He taps that.
Honorable. Well, I'm sure they're worried sick about us. If it's morning, they're probably waking up wondering if we survived the blizzard.
No offense. In my short time with everyone here, and I put my hand on your shoulder. It feels as though people aren't as worried about each other as they should.
Well, I like to look at the positive side. Should we be off?
Yeah, I suppose so. Are we just going to leave Shannara here until we go, or are we going to go meet up with them?
That's a really good question.
In broad dark light.
I'll laugh my ass off at that. Like, I kick a fucking table. Like I kick like if there's a little end table next to the chair. I'm like kicking and I'm laughing so hard. Oh, good humor. Well, if you'd like, I can go get them and then just bring them here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. You'd probably find your way a bit better around than I will.
At least the blizzard's not so bad anymore.
Yeah. All right, I guess me and Shannara will wait here at the old ramshackle.
I'll remove my short swords. I was like, by the way, if the wind gets bad, you might need to
stab
the door shut.
Zavros, as you're getting up to leave, Shannara puts her hand out to you and touches you lightly, and then withdraws her hands. I'm sorry if I spoke out of turn, Master Zavros. I was just curious on the state of Evermeet.
Well, two things. One, do not call me master. Number two, no, to answer your question.
She nods slightly and returns to her like she was starting to get up, but returns to her seated position as you go outside.
And I'll pull the short swords, twirl them, put them in the sheaths, and just walk out.
All right. Anything you want to discuss with Shannara? Or are you just going to sit and wait, Heinlein?
Honestly, the number one question I had for her, like I think last session I asked the number one question I had for her, and then the number two question I had for her I asked last night. So I think it's mostly just going to be both of us sitting kind of in silence.
Fair enough. Yeah, and she'll just sit there as Zavros heads through the windswept streets of Lonely Wood. Again, it's not snowing anymore, but like everything's just absolutely covered in from the blizzard last night, as well as any tracks from the previous night have been removed. But now you're making fresh tracks coming out of the ramshackle and heading towards the speaker's house. And it's short enough walk. You make it there. Orlin and Axel, you are just waking up as you hear a knock on the door.
I probably fell asleep like next to the hearth, so I'll go over to like the door. Hello? Hello, friend? Friend?
Hello. Oh, did you have a good night's sleep?
I slept. Good is a strong term.
Was it a restful night's sleep?
Yes? I slept.
Ah. Oh, hopefully we didn't keep you waiting. We actually... Well, I'll tell you later. Where's Orlin?
Okay, I will go get... I had the utmost faith in your abilities. Orlin, he doubted. He thought you were dead, frozen in the river somewhere. No faith. No faith at all.
He's a cynical old man. You've got to give him that.
And I'll go and just, like, reach up into the loft and just, like, pat Orlin's boot, like, friend, our other friends are here. They survived. I told you.
Just like a brief smile comes across his face, but he quickly, like, shakes it out of himself. Grabs his stuff. Alright. Good. We have to head off soon. Would stay on schedule.
Yes, indeed. And I'll start hooking DOG up to the sled.
Yeah. You guys get everything set up, ready to go. Nimsy Huddle meets you outside as you're leaving. Curler still in her hair, in her warm robe, and sends you off. Did you put your finger up? Did you want to say something, Axel?
Just real quick, I don't know if Zavros or Lynn would notice, but for the first time, since at least recently, Axel does not have his lantern lit. So normally he has a lantern or some sort of light, and since last night he has not had a lantern lit, but seems to be moving around just fine.
Speaking of lanterns, where's Mila's lantern?
Yeah. Who did anybody pick up her lantern? I assume Axel would have. Yeah. So Axel might.
Yeah, I took all of her stuff. Anything that she had, like her pack, essentially, and then anything that she still had in a sled or at the speaker's house, I would have all packed into the sled now. Did I cut out?
No,
you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if anybody was gonna act on that. But yeah, if you guys just want to start heading over.
Oh, by the way, we need to stop by the ramshackle. A friend is waiting there, and I'm saying that to him as Huddle is not next to us.
Fair. Yeah, you guys head over there, and can approach the ramshackle. I don't know how much you want to do here or not, so I'll let you go.
Well, he's just inside. I guess I can go get him. And his axe beak is actually in there. We kept him warm by the hearth. And I kind of walk in, knock on the door, because I'm just assuming that there's a fucking sword on the other side.
Yeah, it's open.
I open it up. It's like, Oh well, we're all prepared. If you're ready, we can go ahead and get started on the day to, get your ears, so to speak.
Yeah, of course. Let's. Who is Shinar riding with?
You could probably go on the DOG sled, right?
Does she know how to drive DOG sled?
Well, I didn't. Yeah.
Well, she can ride on my sled, and if
because I was going to say,
Phage
Zavros has a sled. Axel could drive DOG. Then you two have your axe beaks.
Okay. As long as we know.
Give me a group stealth check, shall we?
no shit.
Because the way out of Tourmaline is down the main.
What if
or
I were to,
Lonelywood.
could I get advantage if I walked in there and I was like, sorry about this, and I like wrapped her up like she was cargo and put her on my sled?
We do have blankets.
Yes. Survival check for that? Do a survival check, and we'll see how well you're able to. I mean, it's not going to be very hard because you can just kind of pile it up. Yeah.
I got a 20.
Yes. So you can get advantage. This is mostly just getting out of the ramshackle
Yeah. Yeah.
and not being noticed.
But
So,
I also don't want to say, oh, there's a fucking mummy with her.
yeah. So I'll give you advantage, even though that's not what we're affecting here, but that's still good.
Oh, okay. 15.
Yeah, so you guys start making out. You don't notice anybody. You don't see anybody looking through windows or anything at you guys. You do know that there is footprints and axe-beak footprints and sled tracks coming out of the ramshackle area. I mean, there'd be tracks of humanoids and an axe-beak coming out of the ramshackle itself, but you'll be out of town by the point they notice. So.
I'm assuming the way we're going out of town is going to pass the speaker's house.
Yep.
I want to stop my axe beak and go knock on the door.
Okay. Yeah, you knock on the door, and she, and Orlin joins you, and she opens it again, just still curlers in her hair, and seems to be holding a mug of something warm. So, oh, you're back already. Did you forget something?
Oh no! And I'm going to do a big bow, and I'll be like, thank you for welcoming us into this town. Sorry, your language is very hard for me. But I did have one inquiry before I left. Has anyone heard about a woman living in the woods, possibly?
Woman living in the woods. She's gonna roll a just see if she knows. No, I haven't heard of any. No, I mean, there's been stories of spirits and things, but no actual humanoids living out there that I know of.
All right, just curious. And I'm gonna hop on my axe beak and start going.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Well, of course. Thank you for such saving our town. We can now log without any worry and hunt as well.
And
Continue to
make
thrive.
Stream. It's more cookies!
Make sure you and your family eat double the day after tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we gotta get ready for the sacrifice. Of course, it's a few days away now. Be sure if you are within one of the towns when it happens, be sure to pick one you don't mind going through, or just stay out of the towns for that day.
Of course.
Just remember, you can go in, but you can't leave.
Of course, thank you.
And she will close the door as you guys head out into the wilderness.
While they were talking to the speaker, just real quick, I'm going to dig through my stuff and take out my lantern and my extra oil flasks that I have and pass it over to Heinlein and say, friend, I have noticed that often you are without a light. If you would like, I have discovered a different means of seeing in the dark. If you would like to hold on to this lantern so that you are not without light.
I suppose. That's fine. All right, I'll take it.
That's all I had.
Very cool. All right, you guys start to head out on the trail. This is a shorter run, only an hour long. But if you want to do anything on the path, if you want to look for anything, or if you're just going to just explore it, up to you.
Do what for it? Sorry, you cut out for a second there.
Sorry, it was if you guys want to, like, be on the lookout as you're going, or if you're just going to hoof it and hope for the best, up to you.
Will we get there quicker if we don't look out?
Yeah, if you don't get stopped by anything.
Yeah, we have some buffer time, though, so we should probably be cautious, right?
Yeah.
You guys are my traveling party, and I'm just trusting what you guys say with traveling.
We'll be cautious. We'll keep our eyes out.
All right. Somebody give me a perception check. I assume Zavros, and if you want to do it with advantage.
Okay.
A 19.
21. 21.
21, even better. As you are running through the tundra here, and as the woods start to thin out a little bit, as you're getting more towards Tourmaline, there are some woods still, but you do see quite far off in the distance, there is a figure out in the tundra. Like it's past your dark vision range, so you aren't quite able to tell what it is.
See like a silhouette.
Yeah, it's like a silhouette of some kind of upright figure.
I'm gonna slow my axe beak a little bit and keep my hand up. There appears to be something ahead of us. I can't make out what it is, but it appears to be standing.
Yeah, it's not like in the path in front of you. It's off in the tundra to your left, but still, but like it's like diagonally in front of you out in the tundra. Yep.
I'll point. It's like seems to be a figure over there. I don't know if it's watching us or what.
Can we get like an estimate on size, or is it too hard to tell? Size or like giant size, you know.
From this distance, give me a perception check, Orlin. It's gonna be at disadvantage though, because of how far away it is.
8.
You aren't sure. You know it's upright. It doesn't seem to be moving. You can tell that much, but you aren't sure what size it is or what it would be.
It's probably someone who didn't quite make the trek. Perhaps we should keep going.
Someone frozen.
Yes.
How far off is it?
It'd be, what's your bow range? Just so I can kind
120, I think.
estimate.
Let me check.
How far you can see.
My bow range is 150. I got a long bow.
150. It's exactly in your bow range. Is how far out it is.
Oh.
It's quite a ways out there. But I mean, you're on.
As he says
that long. What?
As he says that, I'm gonna be like, oh, and I'm just gonna trot out there.
All right. Zavra starts trotting out there with his axe beak and the cart in tow. At this point, and no, Shannara would just stay laying down. She's a mom. She doesn't care. Yeah, you start trotting out there.
I mean,
I'm not going right up to it. I'm staying kind of a good distance to it, but I'm trotting.
I just like, and I'll trot up next to him.
All right. What are the other two doing? Are you staying on the path, or are you following?
It would follow. I also now have dark vision of 120 feet, so not long after the path, I should be able to start actually seeing what this is.
Very cool. Heinlein.
How's the weather?
There's a slight breeze, but other than that, it's fine.
Then I would follow.
Okay. So you all start trotting your way out there. Actually, you see it. You get to start making features out quicker than everybody else. You do see it appears to be humanoid. You can see long, like spindly white strands of hair blowing in the wind slightly. Again, not moving. The skin appears to be of darker color. And as you get closer and closer, as you guys get within like the 60-foot, your dark vision other than Heinlein, you start to see like it's not that the flesh itself started a darker color, it's that it's been like frostbitten to the point of where it would have turned blackened and blued, and the face is very withered and gaunt. As you get closer, I'll say at like 50 feet away, you can tell that this person is not alive anymore. This is a humanoid who is currently dead. Seems a little bit shorter than a human, but is upright.
I told you, it's just one who didn't make it.
I completely ignore what he said. I take out like a small bit of my rope and I cut it. I fashion a little like loop with it, and I take a small piece of my little banner that I have and wrap around it, and I just go over to it and just put it around the neck, and then
all right,
try to
Zavras, as you walk over to, you're putting it around the
neck of whatever is there.
The humanoid's neck. You walk over and you start putting this rope around the neck, and as the body kind of shifts a little bit, you can like it's shorter than you, and you can see like the snow comes up to where his waist would be. And as you do this, you start to feel the ground underneath you start to shift. As it starts to lift up underneath you, you can start to see a mound spreading very far out. The snow begins to lift. How many of you have come close to him, by the way? I should have asked this before I started describing this, but did you all stay 50, 60 back?
I mean, when, so I was following him probably up until the point that I said it's just a dead body for that second time. So I'm probably like 30 feet, something like that.
Okay. Orlin, you would feel this as well. Not as, like, the range isn't as wide when you're starting to feel the ground shift, but, like, directly under you, the ground is shifting and the snow is starting to part. As you start to see, like, spines ground. I need a dexterity saving throw from Orlin and from Zavras. Actually, we're going to use your axe beak stats, and Zavras is going to have disadvantage because he has a cart attached to his axe beak. So let me pull up the axe beak so I can give you guys your dex. If it's in this book at all, it might not be. Actually, it would be towards the back in the beast section. No, I will just bring it up on Bendium for you.
The amount of times Sharp has said, if you go off on your own, you're going to get purple wormed.
Well, that's the thing. We're not alone. We're all together.
I'm just
So
joking.
you have a +1 to your dex.
Okay.
So D20 +1.
20. Ooh.
Kill me.
Good job, Tauntaun.
14.
14.
Okay.
Let me.
Zavros is. Wait,
Dead.
would you get a 14 from?
He has a +1. He didn't put the +1 on top of that. Oh wait, you have to roll disadvantage, Zavros. You have to roll once more.
I'm not even seeing his rolls.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like some of his rolls I haven't seen.
Oh, it said the GM. I'm sorry. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Yeah.
I've got to set to GM. Here, let me do this.
Yeah, one more roll from you. 15 that time.
15.
14 still. Let me, because I should have double checked this. Like I always should, but I don't. Actually, yeah. So, as this thing is just quickly pushing itself out of the snow, both Orlin, your axe beak, and Zavras, your axe beak, both go prone as you both fall off your axe beaks as this thing is lifting itself up out of the ground. And as it continues to do so, the humanoid figure lifts up as well. And you can see the spines running down the back of this great white creature as these huge wings start to come out of the ground as well. Orlin, you were closer to where the head of this thing would be, so you can see the long neck and this just hanging skin with icicle-like spines hanging down from it, as you see the long reptilian head of what you can only assume to be a white dragon coming out of the ground, as this huge tail whips around as well. And that's where I'll go to our break.
What the fuck?
Zavros, you.
We'll see you guys in a moment. We got a lot of backstory.
How'd I know a dead body would lead to a fucking white dragon?
So we'll get into some cool things. We'll see you guys in just a moment. Be sure to take your eats and stuff. And we'll see you back in a moment.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody. We had a few requests for a quick recap for those of you who weren't here or just had to walk away for a second. Quick recap of the first half. Our group was in Lonelywood. They returned with the head of the White Moose, and after a night of dealing with lost friends and talking about some secret backstory stuff, they snuck their way out of Lonelywood early in the morning as to avoid getting notice that they had broken into the rundown ramshackle that was no longer open. And headed out of town. Outside of town, which is only about an hour-long travel, Zavros noticed a figure off in the distance in the tundra, and approached it, assuming it was some kind of frozen figure to pay respects to it. Once he started to do so, the ground underneath of him and Orlin began to shift, and the snow parted as an enormous white dragon started to appear from the ground. I will show you guys what you see as Orlin and Zavros are prone on the ground. Where are you? You're on the Lonelywood map? Let's stay there. I don't think the music is playing that I needed to. Music was being dumb today, so let me try and get something good going for you guys here. Zavros, you are able to see where this figure was. Is this saddle kind of over the at the part of the dragon, and the figure is sitting on the saddle. Let me change the music. That's not good enough.
No, it's perfect. It's White Dragon. That's what I played.
Oh, well then we can put it back.
No, I'm just joking.
Orlin, as you see this thing's head coming out of the ground, it starts to swing it back and forth, and you can hear it taking in these deep breaths through its nose, smelling the air, and then it stops. And it opens its eye wider and comes down towards you, and you can see a thin membrane come over the eye from the side as it gets closer to you. And looking into the eye, you can see it's trying to focus on you, but there are spots that appear to be whiter than the rest of it. And it comes very close to you, this ice blue eye, other than these white spots in it, and I smell meat. You have food for me?
Yes, what would you desire?
It smells like, moose. You've hunted moose recently?
We did. Zavros.
Melthrin, they brought offerings to me. When she lifts her head up once again and begins sniffing the air, trying to find where the moose meat smells coming from.
Moose, Zavros.
I just dig in the bag and go to give it to Orlin. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, if he's handing it to me, I'll just take it and kind of hold it up.
You hold it up as this head that's larger than you comes down and starts it's almost pulling you off your feet with every breath in, and it opens its mouth for you to place it in.
I'm gonna give it a light toss in.
You toss it in, and it closes and brings its head up and it's snapping, but the meat isn't enough for it to actually have to bite. But you can see the large flap of skin on its neck is just wobbling as it's trying to swallow down these chunks of meats. That was less than a snack.
Hmm.
You have more?
Zavros, why don't you go get the rest of the meat from our friends? Go on.
Okay.
As Zavros starts walking away, you can see the large wings of this thing. The joint at the top is on the ground, and it's like its head is following Zavros as he's trying to walk away, very reptilian-esque, as it's snaking back and forth, trying to follow him to watch where he's going. He'll be back, Melthrend. He has more meat, I can smell it.
What? Go on.
I am unloading any of the moose rations that I was given. I just have them like already in a pile in the snow. Just like, you can have as much. You can have all of the moose. We have no need for it. It is a great offering to a great creature.
I will look to the dragon. Would that do? I kind of gesture to Tauntaun.
This is like she brings her nose right up to Tauntaun, starts sniffing, and the Axbeak is getting very scared at this point. It's like trying to get away from her. Yes, that would make for a fine meal.
If we give you this, you will let us pass. No harm.
Yes, that would be that would suffice.
All right, let me gather my things off of her. I'll go over and get my stuff, and when I'll kind of go to give Tauntaun a hug, I'll put like my arm around his neck, and I'm just gonna dagger into her neck.
Yeah. I will allow this without a roll. You go to comfort Tauntaun as they're getting very nervous about this huge dragon head, but has been trusting you to not run away. So it stayed, and you go up to comfort them and cut their neck, and Tauntaun drops to the ground, neck flopping as the head hits the ground. And Zavros is bringing back the meat. It's like the dragon picks up Tauntaun as he's bringing back the meat, and it swallows Tauntaun with a couple of bites, and comes back down as Zavros is bringing the rest of the moose meat over.
Like, stay back.
I'm like, I'm just standing here, seeing him like wave, like, no, stay back.
Yeah, you can see the dragon's head comes back down again, snaking around Orlin to look at Zavros, seeing that you aren't going to approach anymore. I think we've gotten as much as we need, Melthrend. We shouldn't have to hunt for the rest of the day. As these wings that were on the ground start to reach out, this impressive wingspan of this ancient white dragon, and she starts to take off, very labored, as like the rest of the body is hanging down as these wings are trying to lift her up. And I need everybody to make a strength check for me, please.
Strength check or strength save?
Saving throw, sorry.
Copy. 15.
At 20.
Nat 1.
Axel and Heinlein, like, because Orlin and Zavros are underneath the dragon, where the gust kind of comes, but it doesn't get its full strength as it hits the ground and bounces towards you. They are able to kind of hold themselves up. But you, Axel and Orlin, or Heinlein, you and your, Axel's on a sled, so you fall back off the sled and kind of do a backward somersault off of it. And Heinlein, you and your Axbeak both topple over and go about 10 feet as this dragon takes off into the night sky and flies away.
Real quick, Sharp, could you repeat the name that the dragon was saying?
Melvrin.
Melthrand.
Melthrand?
Meltharend. Melthrand.
Okay,
Yes.
that's all I
And
needed.
I wanted to ask, when he was saying the name, I kind of wanted to take a look and see if I saw who he was talking to.
Whenever she was saying that name, she was kind of turning her head back, kind of where her shoulder blades were.
Mm-hmm. Did it look like that figure was moving? Because before it was still.
From what you could tell, it was hard because she was above you and like you were around her head area, so you could kind of see, but the figure seemed to be in the same position as what you saw when you encountered it.
Mm-hmm. I just let out a big sigh, well, a big breath. I mean, like, everything was probably puckered. Just,
As I like lift myself out of the snow the best I can, and like check on Velt, and then resaddle up. What was that? What just happened here?
That was death. We should be dead. We should be dead so many times over. Axel's still like laid out, arms akimbo, like just in the snow, looking up at the night sky. Like, we should be dead. Why did that work? That was death.
Is that common up here? Like, what was that thing?
Was it dragon?
Was a dragon.
Oh.
Oh.
I have seen the remains of one at my camp, but I have never seen a living one. The one there was about the same size. And there are great legends told about the killing of that beast.
We should continue before it decides to come back.
Can I, make a roll about the general disposition of white dragons, even if it's colored by the stories that I've heard?
Yeah, do an history and or arcana, depending on how you want to try and get. The history will get you more of your story stuff. Arcana is just like general dragon things.
I'll do history. My arcana is shite. 9. I don't know.
9.
Jack
Yeah, you've mostly just heard stories of how victorious your people were overtaking the dragon that once lived in what your once home was. But yeah, for the most part, is know that.
Yes, we should continue into town before it changes its mind. Not that town will be any safer, but perhaps we will not be the only ones eaten.
All right.
Does anyone have room for one more?
Zavros gets Choco. Did Choco run off?
Nope, Choco went prone and had a hard time getting back up because it has a cart attached to it as well.
I'm gonna get Choco back up. And just walk up to Orlin and give the reins of Choco to Orlin.
This is your steed.
I'm going to look at Choco and cast Speak with Animal.
Alright, you cast Speak with Animals with your axe beak.
Would you like to go with Orlin here?
You don't want me anymore?
Well, because of what I did, Tauntaun isn't here anymore.
thank you for not sacrificing me.
Yes, well. Did you like Tauntaun anyway? I've been wanting to ask you that.
Alright. He was fine as a companion, or
I'm just like petting Choco's feathers.
you give me food one last time?
I reach into my bag, give some rations.
Yeah, 2 days worth of rations for next week.
Yep.
And I forget how many days. You got 8 days worth of rations from the moose, right? And you didn't give it all to him. You gave him some. I'll say, or her. Sorry. How many days did you split it up evenly amongst yourselves?
I think so.
I'll say for a prosperity's sake, you did. So it would be 2 days gone to the dragon as well.
Okay.
So you each had 2 days off of the 8 days. So you have 6 days left from the moose. Yeah. After, I don't know if you have anything else to say to, Choco.
No, I'm just gonna look at Choco. I was like, well, make sure to take care of him. He is old.
Orlin, you see Choco turns to, and kind of bobs his head back and forth as he's looking at you.
Zavros, I thank you for the offer, but
Shut up and take it.
too
old man.
soon. Too
And I'll
soon.
walk off. Just walk off.
All right. So Zavros leaves Orlin with the reins in hand as he walks back towards the trail. This large imprint of where the ancient white dragon was sleeping during the blizzard to ride out the storm. I assume we head back on the path. Where's Zavros riding? Or are you just running along after them? Or is everybody going at Zavros' pace?
I mean, can we ride two at a time or no?
Not
Well,
on the
you
axe
have
beak,
a you
but-
have a mummy on the back of your axe beak.
A sled.
Yeah, you have a mummy in the cart, but you don't have any other equipment though with you, do you?
No, not on the cart itself. No.
You would be able to ride in the
Everything else
cart
in my
with
bag.
Shinar if you wanted to.
Okay, I'll hop on the back.
So you were still able to make pretty decent time with the encountering the dragon. It's only been a couple minutes past that, so it would have. I think in total this would have taken like an hour and a half. So it's still really early in the morning as you reach Tourmaline. The town is not as active as it was last time, just because it's still earlier. You still do see a few people going out. You guys actually passed the mine before you passed anything. I don't know if you wanted to check in there or not, or if you just wanted to continue to town. Up to you.
I just realized we never checked to see if we saw any of those damn kobolds in the Lonelywood.
Oh well, their problem, not ours.
Maybe the dragon. Maybe they'll worship that dragon or some shit. I don't know.
What town are we approaching again?
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline. Well, let's restock on supplies and not spend too long here.
Speaking of which, Orland, you still have that money?
Yes, take it out. I meant to talk during the break. I was still like focusing on all the mishaps at the beginning with the stream setup, so I completely missed like what you were like. I knew you were handing me money, I just didn't know how much or why. So
100 gold pieces, and it was because of that's what you got paid for killing the moose.
but that's to be divided amongst all of us, correct?
Up to all you.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if 100 was like my share or something. I was like, man, that's a lot of money.
Nope, yeah, that's the total that you were given.
Yeah, I'll take out the coin purse that he threw me then and just kind of like, well, everybody take your share. I suppose cut it one less way.
So everyone will get 33.33333333.
Ooh.
Wait, I am not very good at math, but
It's not
I do
supposed to
bel-
make sense.
I do believe we all get 25.
Oh, Axel, I forgot you were there.
Yes, that is not how math works, Zavros, but good try.
I'll look at my arrows and count them real quick.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
That's poured a bunch of water on myself. Unless you have any specific things you're looking for within Tourmaline, we can take care of like rations and arrows and stuff off screen after. Just put how much you want, and we can take care of the price. You should all have more than enough money to pay for what you need, from what I've looked at.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anything specific?
I was gonna say, I don't think I have anything in Tourmaline. I think the only thing we had here was checking out the mine, but we were going to give that a little bit of time because we have a week still to take care of it, take care of the grow.
If you just want to leave that and do your shopping and head straight on to Targos, feel free.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All
Yep.
right. So you guys stock up and start heading towards Targos.
How much is an axe beak, though, real quick? You remember?
50 gold.
50. Maybe next time.
So yeah, you continue on the path to Targos. Which, for your memory, will be 2 hours on your mounts. Doing any kind of perception checks on the trail, or just kind of going for it.
Yeah.
All right. Perception check.
Keep
with
an eye
advantage,
out for
Targos.
anything hostile.
Yeah, Zavros wants to do perception with advantage. We can check to see.
13.
13. You do not see any kind of dangerous wildlife, I'll say. You might see, like, as you're leaving the forest, there's not much forest left after Tourmaline, but you do see, like, some of the smaller creatures as you're going. But as soon as you hit the tundra, there's just nothing. This cold, biting wind that just breaks right through your winter gear as you're trying to run away from it as it's sweeping down the lakeside as you go towards Targos. 2-hour trip. Can I get a Constitution saving throw from everybody but what's your name? Axel.
15.
7.
7. So this biting wind is stronger than most in the 10 towns. Heinlein and Orlin, you're fine. Zavros, this cold is getting to you just sitting on the back of this cart, along with Shannara, who's been covered up this whole time, just laying down, staying still, because she hasn't been told to do anything else. You take 1 level of exhaustion, Zavros.
Jesus. So, disadvantage on ability check.
Yeah, I've been too lenient on this lately, and now I got to start hitting you with
I know all about that exhaustion.
but you make
Frenzy
your way,
attack.
you make your way into Targos, which you guys got to Targos, I think, in session 2, so it's been a while. So I kind of want to give a little reminder as to what is here for you to see. Again, this place is encircled within a wooden wall, which opens up into the lake, Mar Dulden, which you're very familiar with. Is very much a fishing town, as the majority of these towns are that are along this lake. This is where you first fought. Why can't I remember his name?
The Plesiosaur?
Not the Plesiosaur. That was Bremen.
no.
Oh, right.
Sefik. Sefik.
Right.
That's where you fought Sefik, encountered the Torgs trading company as well. So you know there are places to stay, but again, still pretty early in the morning. It's only been like 4 hours at this point that you've been traveling and going through towns. So completely up to you if you want to stop anywhere or do anything. Dealer's choice.
Is there anything that people are looking to do right now? Or are we just heading to Bryn Shander and wait?
That was going to be my question as well. I know we have business in Bryn Shander, but I would also like to return Diogi to the shop owner as soon as possible, especially since Mila will not be able to return him anymore. And I believe we'll have enough time if we can make it to East Haven soon, and then make our way back to Bryn Shander.
Well, here's the thing. Several days ago is when Horgs was heading to Bryn Shander to do trading. We don't necessarily know that they stayed in Bryn Shander for the full week. And from what I recall, I think East Haven is another town with human sacrifice.
Yes.
I think Bryn Shander's going to be the most likely area that will encounter them. But we can at least, if we get to Bryn Shander, ask around about them and see if they've moved on or not.
Yes. The earlier we get there, the more time we have to investigate and find out if we're in the right spot or not.
Because it's more likely, I think, that in a bigger city like Bryn Shander, someone is going to try and rob their way out of dying than in East Haven. But we don't know for sure, because I believe it's happened in all three cities. Murder.
But it is a good plan to ask around, spend a little bit of time in Bryn Shander to see if they are there or not before we pass straight through.
Right.
Yep.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to wait for another cycle.
Well, we just have to find them.
Or that.
It's just, my time limit was, if I killed them before the next new moon, that's at least one less person down. But I don't otherwise have a time limit, as long as I can stop this guy. So let's head to Bryn Shander.
Yes.
Yes, we can ask around there, see where they are at.
All right. So if you guys look at the southern part of the map, you'll see that you wouldn't even have to go into Targos to have this conversation. You could have been on that path to Tourmaline right at the crossroads there. But as you turn to go towards Bryn Shander, Zavras, you hear a noise on the wind. And Diogi also perks up at this noise and begins barking.
I look around to see what's causing Diogi distress.
Perception check for me.
Okay. Perception. 18.
An 18. Yeah, you're looking around the snow as you're at this crossroads, and you look off in the direction where Diogi is barking at, and you also hear a similar noise coming from that direction. As you look, you see this large sled dog is rushing towards the group of you, and like as it gets closer, you can see it's light gray fur, and you can see it is dragging something behind it, like something that's attached to it. It's dragging along with it, and as it gets up to you, like it interacts with the OG first. They both kind of jump at each other and are smelling each other, and then it turns to you, Axel, and starts jumping on you and barking.
I would try to settle it down, but then also see what's attached to it. Like, is it the remains of a sled, or what's going on back there?
Yeah, like you bend down and start trying to deal with this dog, and you can see, much like what Diogi is wearing, it's dragging a broken leather harness behind it.
Cool. Where is your sled, small one? Are they alive? Do they need help? I'm just like looking into this dog's eyes.
Like it's not standing still as you're trying to do this, and it's like barking, and then it'll run a little ways down the road towards Targos, and then come back to you and start barking and jumping on you again, pulling at some of your clothes, and then running back towards Targos.
I'm gonna cast speak with the animal to see if it's like yelping at him, like what it is. It's trying to tell him.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I'm gonna cast speak with the animal again.
Okay. You do so. Whenever you cast speak with the animal, I'll have you initiate the conversation because the animal doesn't know that you're talking to it.
Where are you taking us?
What? Come with me. I need help.
Apparently, it needs help. It said, "Come with us." Where's your master?
He's missing. He was taken. I need help.
The master was taken. We should go.
Just a reminder, there was a round. Did we see what direction the dragon flew in?
It flew north. Axel is frozen.
Much like the guy on the back of the dragon. There.
You're back, I think.
It's going very slowly.
Okay.
We can hear you at least. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
What did it come from Targos or did it come from the wilderness?
The dog would have come from... Let me look at the map. He would have came from kind of behind you. Like, it seemed like he came from the path behind you.
Tourmaline?
Yes, you don't know if it followed the path all the way from Tourmaline, but it was following the path that you were taking from Tourmaline.
Oh.
Zavros, ask who its master is.
Who is your master?
Garrett's my master, but his husband lives here. He can help.
So the name is Garrett, and the husband lives here.
Name ring a bell?
Roll a history check, actually, maybe.
Okay. 13.
You have not heard of Garrett, no.
Well, are we gonna go?
What happened?
Oh, what happened to your master? It was
we
taken. Who took him?
We were climbing the mountain when a large white creature attacked us. He killed the other dogs. I was able to escape.
What did the creature look like?
Very tall.
Imagine Zavros is barking like, as this is going on.
Very tall, very hairy horns, sharp teeth.
You don't know what this is?
Roll a... What's it called? Yeah, do a nature.
Hell yeah, I love this. Yeah. 8.
It's very vague, but I know you're hunting something specifically. A lot of those details match that. You don't know if it is that. Yeah, but it matches.
There's a very large, hairy creature with horns. Killed all the other dogs.
Is it the thing we just took care of?
No, this sounds more like something I've personally been looking for. Possibly a Yeti.
That would match.
Are there, Sharp, any other mountains besides that, like, Kelvin's Cairn nearby?
Kelvin's Cairn is the most prominent mountain. The other ones around you are pretty far off. There's the Spine of the World, obviously, and then very far north within the Reghead Glacier, there are some lone standing mountains. But the closest one would be Calvin's Cairn.
Okay, so if this dog came from a mountain, it's most likely that one.
Most likely.
Well, okay. You said it came from a mountain?
Yes, well, you can't talk to you.
No.
From a mountain, correct?
Yes, I ran a very long way. I know my master's safe. He's very smart, but he won't last long.
Yes, definitely came from a mountain.
Well, based off of where the dog came from, he came from Calvin's Cairn, which is not close. How far would it be from here, Shard? Roughly.
Raphael? God. I have a ruler. You guys can talk if you need to.
I imagine it's probably like half a day, based off the map.
It's
because everything is like
also
pretty dang close, like a day's trip.
Yeah, we'd also be going through wilderness though too, not on
if you were to
roads.
make a straight cut, it's about 60 miles from where you are.
How far would it take us to get there based on what I can do in the Arctic?
Let me do some quick
Or how long?
maths. Because you could straight cut, or you could go around through the towns. Brinshander.
There's so much stuff in this campaign.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like 4 hours there, so another 2. You could get there in half a day, even taking the roads if you wanted. Going across the tundra would take about the same time, just because it's not a path, and you'd be going through wilderness. So, but it'd be more deadly. Actually, it'd probably be even a little bit shorter, but it'd be more deadly.
It is good to help people, but also we are on our own time frame. We don't know what we're going to find there. He could already be dead by the time we show up.
We have 3 days, including today, before the next killing. Again, that for me is just so I can probably figure out where he's going to be without having to go through more trouble. That's what my time frame is.
I feel like there's a greater possibility we save more people by killing him than a Yeti.
If this was just normal case, and pretty much up until just a few seconds ago, I was sitting here thinking, it doesn't concern us. Especially if that dog has someone who can help just right there.
Well, do we have
What?
that information?
Is that it was like repeating?
I did say
You
I
repeated
did say that
Okay,
the
cool.
husband. Yeah, the
because
husband
I was
lives here.
working under. I had like an idea to us, but I was like, I don't know if he said that. Perhaps we could go tell the husband. At the very least.
If it's something that Zavros is hunting anyway, then I think at the very least, if we went up there, it's not wasting time because it's something Zavros already was looking to do.
But which is the greater monster? Sefik or the Yeti?
I guess neither.
Depends on how smart Yetis are. Sefik seems to be doing it because he is choosing to. He is out of worship of Oriel, but is choosing to kill, where the Yeti is simply killing to survive, then it is just doing in its nature.
Either way, we're risking the life of a single person, no matter which decision we make. Whether that's a man who chose to go up in the mountains and found himself at the will of nature, or it's someone who decided to pay their way out of being sacrificed. Either way, someone dies.
What if we split up?
That sounds like a bad idea overall. Just bad idea.
Zavros and I were gonna hunt this thing together, I'm sure. Either way. You
I
could
mean
get
it in the...
the local guard to help you in Bryn Shander, if need be.
I mean this in the kindest way possible, friend. But both of you were almost taken out yesterday. Zavros was taken out by the moose right away. Just boom. Gone. We showed up and he was already unconscious. No offense, Zavros. It was a very large moose. But also, we do not know the capabilities of the Yeti, and that was with many of us fighting the moose. I would not feel comfortable sending two of you to fight a potentially even more powerful foe.
Yes. But this moose was, being powered by this druid woman.
If this Yeti is ferocious enough that Tails have traveled even to Zavros in his time in 10 towns, then it is possibly just as powerful as the moose on its own. If not stronger.
Perhaps we go to the husband, we let him know, and he can assemble a group to go after this dog's owner.
Island had something to say.
Are you sure? Listen, to me, I guess I see both threats as I find that the idea of going after either person, the Yeti or Sefik, both are selfish-driven ideals. I personally don't put any weight above each of them. So I'm fine with doing whatever. I was just suggesting because either way, we can do one and then do another afterwards. But I figured it was something that Zavros already is interested in. And we potentially have a guide who can just bring us straight there. And I put like motion to the dog who came from where they got ambushed. I think it's much easier to track down hordes in Sefik at any given time than it will be to track down this beast in the forest. If I remind you, it did take us a lot of work. The moose came to us.
Do we wish... based off of what Heinlein has brought up, I think it is good to go after... If I had to choose between the two, with all being equal, the man on the mountain seems more worthy to save than someone who has bought their way out of their fate. That is someone who has cheated their fate. But also, potentially we can do both. We can get to the mountain very soon. We have the dog to lead us at least to the cave. We may not be able to hunt the beast, but we can save the man and then save that life and hunt the beast another day if we do not locate it.
Yes. Let's make haste.
All right, boy, you want to lead us to the husband?
Oh, you know my name. Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, I suppose I do.
In the book, the dog's name is Boy.
Oh,
So yeah, the dog starts rushing towards the walls of Targos, and you follow after it. And it leads you in, not towards the lake, but kind of towards the outskirts of Targos. And you see this very modest dwelling that it runs up to, and as it gets to the door, it starts jumping on the door and scratching at it and barking. And all of you approach the door, and as you do so, you see it open, and a taller man with brown hair that kind of splits and flips up. It like splits on the middle, but it has like a flip up to either side. It's got a 5 o'clock shadow, very not super thin, but you can like see the cheekbones on him, a little bit darker skin. And as he sees the dog, he smiles and he looks up to see all of you, and the smile instantly fades. He says, "Oh, you're not who I was expecting. Who are you all, and why do you have Boy with you?"
so I'm going to make this quick. It's going to hurt. So sit down on your porch if you need to. Your dog, Boy, I have the innate ability to speak with animals. Apparently your significant other was out and about and was ambushed, but by what appears to be a yeti, sounds like, up near the mountain. The dog ran for some time, all the other dogs are dead, and we need to hurry.
Oh, you can just see like a chill come over his face as he stands up. Come in. I can try and give you information on where he'd be. And he like walks inside, and dog follows, or Boy follows him in. Yeah, and if all of you go in after him, he is at like ladling things out of a kettle that's over the fire, and pours it into cups for all of you and hands it to you. It's a warm liquid that most of you will be able to tell is a cider. It's a warmer cider. He says, "Well, so Garrett ran into a yeti, is what you're telling me?"
Yes, and I'm gonna take a sip. And this is quite delicious, but yeah, probably need to know exactly where you think he might have gone, because if we don't hurry, that could get worse.
He would have went up the cairn, but he took a tour group with them. They were going after some kind of mythical legend or something. I don't know exactly.
An
I didn't meet any of them.
abominable. What was it that we overheard, Orlin?
Yes, no. That is exactly what we heard.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know that he seemed pretty excited about it, but he works for something called the Frozen Far North Expeditions. I don't know if you want to stop there in Caer Koenig. They might be able to know which way he went up. Yeah, I mean,
It seems your dog would be able to lead us straight to him.
yes, Boy is very good and would be able to bring you there. I don't doubt that Garrett's fine. He's tangled with the Yetis before, but I fear for the safety of the others, and if any of them have been taken, Garrett wouldn't leave without them.
What does your Garrett look like?
Human, long, gray beard. It's a little bit larger nose. He tends to drink quite a bit, so not much older than myself though. Still, he's still young for how he looks.
You don't happen to have business by East Haven, do you?
No, I mean I don't go over there. I just stay here. I'm a scrimshander by trade.
How about Garrett?
If people need expeditions over there, sure, but it's not his usual territory.
Damn it.
Why do you ask?
Oh, we just have this dog with us, and I don't want it to die on our trip. It's not ours, it belongs at East Haven. You seem like good folk, so was hoping.
I mean, I can hold it here. I don't know if you plan on coming back this way, or...
Unfortunately, we do not. So... DOG will stick with us.
I have a place we can store it.
Actually, you were gonna bring some up?
Yeah, I've already. I was thinking the exact same thing. Axel has Mila's pack, has basically unloaded DOG's sled of anything extra. Has Mila's pack all of Mila's stuff, and then has brought DOG in as well. And I hand, I have already forgotten their name, the person we're talking to, a couple of coins. And Keegan?
Keegan, yep.
I hand them a couple of coins, a couple of gold coins, and I say, this dog is very important. If possible, if you can get it to, if there's a caravan you trust, SOP's Dangerous Mysticals is who they belong to, along with the pack. That all belongs to them. If not, here is some money for some food. We shall try to be back for this dog. It is not mine. I do not want it to die in the wilderness.
All right, I can watch after it.
Cool. I mean, I've got a place we can bring it.
Where's that?
In Bryn Shander.
Who is this?
That's where I'm staying.
Will they be able to get him to East Haven?
Possibly. If nothing else, they're able to keep it closer than Targos, and we'll be back to Bryn Shander at some point anyway. But there's a chance that they might. They're not. They're only slightly more experienced in the area than I am. But
Perhaps it is best we leave the dog there then. We know, so we are not burdening Keegan with anything else while we try to deal with the situation. And Bryn Shander is on the way, so to say.
We want to stop in Bryn Shander before Kelvin's Cairn. I think we should just go straight to Kelvin's Cairn.
I am fine with that as well.
Look, as a businessman, I'm sure Mila's boss will be in this area eventually. If not, when I head home to East Haven, I'll let him know his pup is here.
Well, I guess what I was wondering was, did you guys... Were you not interested in talking... Okay, I just want to... Were people going to stop in Caer-Konig to talk to this guy's business? Or whatever?
I think we should go straight there.
Okay.
Yeah. I assumed we were going to follow the dog to wherever the guy is hiding, since the dog seems to know,
Okay. Oh,
supposedly.
alright then. Oh, that's fine then.
All
We
right.
leave here. Go straight up north.
Yeah, Keegan will keep them here. It sounds like you're going to help, but I mean, unfortunately, I can't offer you anything as incentive. We don't make much.
We actually have our own incentive to going up there.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I wish you luck in finding them.
Of course. All right.
Act the way we came.
All right. Yeah, you guys mount up. You just have a mummy laying in your cart this entire time.
I was thinking about that too. I was just like,
As you mount up on your axe beaks, Zavros gets in the cart.
Question.
Yes.
Between Targos and Tourmaline, which one, out of my time being in both, seems like they'd have the better selection of clothing?
Of which one? Sorry.
Out of Targos and Tourmaline.
Oh, what? Sorry. What were you looking for?
Oh, the best selection of clothing. Who
Oh,
I think
clothing.
might have a better selection. I don't know which one, if one seemed richer than the other or bigger than the other.
They're kind of the same in honesty.
Okay.
So-
If we're in Targos, then, real quick, and I look over to the sled in the rolled up mummy. I think maybe we should probably get a little bit better clothing and if you know what I mean.
sure. Actually, Keegan.
Yes.
You could actually help us a bit. Would you happen to have a spare set of clothes?
Yeah, I mean, Garrett has a ton of winter clothing. I could give you a set.
That would be payment enough.
Of course, yes. You'll rush off to one of the back rooms of the house and bring out this winter clothing. Like it has a mask and everything to make it so that you're able to go through these blizzards and things, climbing mountains and stuff. So would completely be able to cover up your mummy.
Sweet.
All right, that works.
All right, you guys start mounting up. Zavros in the cart. Hanlon and Orlin on axe beaks, and I assume you tie up Boy to the sled now instead of DOG. You're able to take off, and when you get to the split in the road, instead of taking the east way to Brynshander, you head off into the bitter tundra of Icewind Dale, and that is where we'll end our session. So, thank you all for joining us today. We had a lot of backstory. We had some crazy encounters with an ancient dragon, and we got a new quest. So, I hope you all enjoyed it. We will be back next week to head off into the tundra to find out what we're getting into next. Yeah, so let's do a little bit of outros here. If anybody has anything they want to plug, feel free to do so. We'll start with we'll go in backwards order. We'll go with Dr. Phage.
I'm Dr. Phage. I only play games here. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm Little Growth. That's about it. That's all I got.
We have TommieTaco.
Hi, if you want to catch me, you can catch me here on Wednesdays and on Sundays in Swindler's Den. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TommieTaco and on Twitter at TommieTaco with a 4 instead of an A.
We have Bumbleskum.
Hey, it's your boy Bumbleskum. You can find me at Twitter at Bumbleskum.
We have Grizlocke.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Grizlocke on all things that you can find me at, which is just YouTube and Twitch, really. And I'm not on Instagram, but I control the Instagram for Swindler's Den, so go check that out as well as all of our other Swindler's Den links. You can catch me here Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes. And this week we didn't have Dyto with us, but she will be here hopefully next week. I'm going to have to twist how I get her introduced, but I think I can do it. I'll talk with her a little bit. We missed her this session, but we got to talk about Mila a little bit, and that was fun. But some secrets died with her. Again, hopefully see her next week. Her Twitter is at Dyto11, as well as she is playing on Fridays over at Weave the Tale, Weave the Dream, Weave the Tale. If she's in chat, put in Weave the Chat. And much more horror elements over there. They do a much better job than I do, so go check that out for sure. And we're going to be rating somebody here, so I will not plug myself because I don't need to. But yeah, social media, all things Swindler's Den. If you want to listen audio only, Patreon, and let's go see who we're rating. It looks like Ink and Andrely
and Lear. Liar?
Lear.
I don't know how you
Liar.
pronounce it.
Ink and Liar sounds
The
like
instrument.
Yeah.
Liar.
Leave the tail for more Dyto information. So thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Rip Tauntaun.